Hello, welcome to this video. I'm back by the canal side in London. I've got my paints, my water pot and my sketchbook, and I'm drawing the water and the canal. The last time I was sort of round the corner a bit in at the Regent's Canal at King's Cross, and now I've just come round to Granary Square and interested in looking again at water today. It's a gorgeous day, lots of autumn colours. So I started off by doing some very quick pencil lines just to put in the roughly where things were going to be. I was going to choose to do the sort of turquoise canal boat as my main focus, so that was the first thing to put in to sort of anchor the sketch and also the reflection at the same time. I also looked for lots of other bright areas of colour to put those down first, so in the water, in the trees, then add in some of the autumn colour in the back, so you do get a bit of an idea that you are fading away into the distance under the bridge. As you can see, the sun was really bright, but I was in the shadows. Then I'm adding some more in the water again, using the perylene green, trying to get some of the difference, ripples and effects of it on top of the water. It changes quite a lot. Here, I've got a bit more. I've added some people and some shadows to indicate the sunshine. But you can probably see at this point the sun was getting very close to me, and it wasn't long before it got to the point where it was right in my eye, so I couldn't really see any of the left side of the view. So this is where I stopped it for this one. But I think it was quite an interesting one to do. Like you see, the water's really sparkly, which is nice. I wasn't able to capture that, but I definitely feel that I got some of the idea of the reflections and the colours of that time. I also did another sketch a few days earlier when the weather wasn't so nice. It was a very overcast day and the scene wasn't quite as good a composition. So again, I started with pencil very quickly to put down the basis of the drawing, and then mixed up some colour to start with the boat again. It seemed like a good idea to start with like one sort of focal point. I've got some red, orange, Indian yellow and some purple in this one to mix the colour up. So you can see this is the first sort of like touches of colour. And then I think this was probably a bit of a mistake. Rather than heading straight for the water, I decided I was going to put in some of the background before the water. Here you see I've put the perylene green in the back by the boat. The sort of water was sort of divided up into three bits. This was like the bit at the back. There seemed lots of little bubbles and things there. These are the pens I used to draw on top of the paint. They're ones I use quite a lot. I've got another video which talks about using those. So this was another part of the painting, and I used the perylene green, different sort of like different qualities. So like I had it really thick, medium, and then I also took it off with we're just using water with the brush marks to make the strokes at the bottom, and I think that's actually was quite successful. And even though the rest of it didn't quite work out, I was quite pleased that bit came together in the sketch. You can see the background is too dominating really. Then I did the last little section, which is a bit closest to me, and tried to get a little bit of the colour of the boat into the reflection. It was so cold this day, and I think it's reflected in the drawing I made, because it seems so dull now looking back at it compared to the first one. Paddington Basin's a bit further along from Paddington Station, and if you're in London, it's definitely a good place to visit. Where I was sitting, it wasn't such a nice spot, but there are lots of canal boats with cafes and restaurants and things like that. At this point, I decided I was going to paint the boat again, and this is where I think it really went wrong, and I decided I was going to go home after this. So I put another layer of colour onto the main boat, and I don't think that worked at all. But sometimes this happens. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hope to see you again on here on the channel and drawing some more sketching. Bye for now.